Good evening, brothers and sisters. My name is Chukwuemeka with the Hebrews. These are the Igbo people who have realized that we are the true Hebrews of the Bible, and we've returned to the worship of our God. We do not practice Christianity. We have nothing to do with Judaism. We do not practice Islam. We return to the true worship of the God of the Bible, which is what we call Hebrewism. Children of the Most High, today I want to talk about clean and unclean food. For those of you who have been deceived into practicing Christianity, Christians usually read the New Testament where it says in the book of Acts of the Apostle that what I have called clean, you shall not call unclean. And as a result, Christians have zero observance of the law of the Most High about clean and unclean food. But those of us who practice Hebrewism, those of us who want to worship the God of the Bible, if you want to worship the God of the Bible, brothers and sisters, you have to observe the law of the Most High. Now, the issue of unclean food was given to us by the Most High because He said in His own words that we are supposed to be holy like He is, and that He's setting us apart, the Hebrews, He's setting us apart as a separate nation unto Himself above every other nation on the planet. That is why, brothers and sisters, in the book of Psalm 147 verse 19, it says that He has revealed, He showed His laws and statutes to the Hebrews, His judgment to Jacob. He has not done so with any other nation. As for His laws, they have not known it. Praise ye the Lord. The Most High has given us these laws and we are supposed to keep them. So if you have been indoctrinated into Christianity, into thinking that every food is now clean, you are doing the wrong thing. You're being deceived, because these laws are everlasting. In the book of Deuteronomy chapter 14 and in the book of Leviticus chapter 11, we are told about the clean food and the unclean food. I want to, first of all, in this presentation, most of you already know the foods that are unclean and the foods that are clean. And it's not something I want to even begin to delve too much into. But I want to show you how in the world we live today, how the children of God are being constantly deceived into defiling themselves by eating this food. Okay. Now, if you go to the book of Deuteronomy 14, you see the list of the clean foods and the unclean food we should eat. The Most High started that part of the scriptures by telling us, you are the children of the Lord your God. You shall not cut yourself nor make any borders between your eyes for the dead. It's very important that the Most High wanted to preserve us, the Hebrews, the Igbo people. He wanted to preserve us. That is why in our culture we do not give tribal marks. Virtually every other culture around us, they have one tribal mark or the other. The Most High told us in Deuteronomy 14 and Leviticus 11 that we should not cut ourselves. And today, our brothers and sisters are being deceived into putting the tattoos on their body. Tattoos involve some kind of cutting of themselves. Tattoo is not like rubbing some ink, like people used to do in those days where they rub ink on their body. That does not involve any cuts. But tattoos involve some kind of cutting. There is some kind of blood coming out from it. If you are going about putting tattoos in your body, you should be aware of that you are transgressing the laws of the Most High. That's the first thing the Most High told us in Deuteronomy chapter 14. Now, the Most High wanted us to keep this law so that He wants us to be holy. It's because He wants us to be holy. That's why He wants us to keep this law. First of all, you are not supposed to cut yourself in any kind of mark or whatever. And more importantly, you're not supposed to eat a food that is supposed to make you unclean. What I want to do today is to dispel all kinds of theory that comes about this, that comes with this clean and unclean food. Brothers and sisters, the first thing I want you to understand is that when you hear clean and unclean food, it's talking about food. It's not talking about the animal. What's important here is this: when the animal is alive, it is clean. Any animal that is alive, the Bible told us not to eat it. As in, I'm not sure anybody will be eating something that is alive, but the Bible told us not to eat it and not to touch the dead body of those animals, the carcasses of this animal. But it does not mean that we can't come in contact with those animals that are alive. For instance, the horse and the camel, the horse and the donkey, these are unclean animals. But it does not mean that the Hebrews did not use them for transportation, because they are alive. But when they are dead, they are unclean to us. We are not supposed to touch them. We are not supposed to eat them. So you should understand that this part of the scripture is telling us about more of, it's talking about our dietary restrictions, things we should not call food, things that are not supposed to be called food by us. Now, why does the Most High make these things? Why does he say that these things are abomination to us, that is unclean? I don't know. The Most High knows why he said so. The Most High maybe he gave reason that these animals, they did not part the hoof, and they are not cloven-footed, and they do not chew the cord. Maybe the Most High gave laws to the animals to behave in that way, and they refuse. Remember, the Most High is a God of free will. He gives every of his creatures free will. If you want to understand this, go and read the book of Enoch in chapter 21. The book of Enoch, chapter 21, from verse 5 to 6, it says that when the Most High created the heavens, the stars, there are some stars he told to come out in their time, and these stars did not. They transgressed, and so the Most High cast them in a place of fire for 10,000 years. So the Most High has laws that he gives to his creatures, all of his creatures. You have the free will to keep that law, just like he has given us a law to eat this food and not to eat some other food. You have the right, you have the free will to choose which one you want to keep and which one you don't keep. However, you should be aware that there are consequences. Brothers and sisters, in the life we live today, if it happens that you came in contact with maybe the carcass of a pig or a horse or something that makes you unclean, the Most High requires that you become unclean till that evening, till the following evening, basically a 12 or 24-hour period. And for you, when you come in contact with that, you wash your clothes, wash your hands, and clean yourself, and remain unclean for the next till the evening, till the following evening, after which you've come in contact with that. That is what the Most High requires. It doesn't mean that it defiles you forever. No. But if the reason I'm saying this is that if you realize maybe you've been eating pork chop, or you've been eating bacon on ham or whatever, and you realize that you're doing something wrong, you wash your clothes, wash your hand, ask the Most High for forgiveness, and you can only be unclean till the following evening, after which you're good to go. Okay, I just want to make that clear. And also, like I said earlier, it is the carcasses of these animals that are unclean to us. If you read the scriptures, Moses on a number of times uses the donkey as a means of transportation. The Hebrews used the horse as a means of transportation. Those are live animals. They were not unclean. It's not an abomination to touch them when they are alive. It's when they are dead, or when we want to use them as food. I mean, they are dead before they should be dead before you use them as food, of course. That's when they are unclean to us. Basically, the Most High is telling us that we shouldn't eat them. You should not eat them, and you should not touch their carcasses. It makes you unclean. It's important to you that you understand that, because I've seen some people who will not even come near a pig or something like that. I mean, if the animal is still alive, it's an animal. Okay, it doesn't make you unclean to touch it or anything like that, but it makes you unclean to touch the carcasses and to eat it. It's important that you understand and separate those. Now, brothers and sisters, the list of these animals are there in the scripture. The Most High made it very clear in the scriptures. But let's look at what the Messiah said we should eat and what we shouldn't eat. He said we should eat in Deuteronomy 14 verse 4. He said that these are the beasts that we should eat, the animals that we should eat. Basically the ox, the sheep, and the goats, and of course the cow and the rest of them, the roebuck, the fallow deer, and the wild goats, and the pig-head, and the wild ox, and the rest of them. These are things that we should eat. These ones are very clear to us. He said that all the beasts that parted the hoof and cleaved the cleft into two claws and chewed the cud among the beasts, that is what we should eat. But the other ones who do not do any of these three things, they don't part the hoof, they are not cloven-footed, and they don't chew the cud, we should not eat it. Those are unclean to us. And he gave example. And he gave example of those animals and their kinds that we should not eat. Now, brothers and sisters, I want you to see how the world we live today, how the children of the Most High are being deceived into reverencing this unclean animal. I will start with the lion. Virtually everywhere you go, you see people having pictures of the lion of Judah, this, that. You know, even those who claim to be Hebrews, they have pictures of the lion as if their tribe represents the lion. It's an unclean animal. You better know that. The truth that the truth of the matter that the scriptures mention lion of Judah, of the tribe of Judah, it's not talking about the lion as an animal. It's talking about the warrior, the fierce nature of the people of Judah. That's what it's talking about. When in Igbo language we mention Ago, which is lion, we are talking about the fearlessness of a people. We're talking about the fearlessness of the people. It's not about the animal. So when you see people carrying pictures of lions and these are, saying that they are Hebrew Israelites carrying lions up and down, it's an unclean animal. Just bear that in mind. The next one that they usually deceive our people. Again, I notice people tend to migrate into idolatry for some reasons I don't know. People tend to look for something to worship, especially animals. They tend to look for this zoolatry, to look for animals to worship on, to hold them at high esteem or stuff. I don't know why they do that. Okay, the next one that people tend to hold in reverence or something like that is the eagle. I mean, for instance, in the United States, you have eagle almost everywhere. The American eagle is seen as one huge and one. I'm sorry, the eagle is seen as one majestic, dignified animal. It's an unclean animal, for Christ's sake. It's an unclean animal. Okay, go and read the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 12. The eagle is an unclean animal. But we are being deceived into seeing it, holding it with high esteem. That is such an amazing, glorified, is a dignity of the forest. Almost every country has some kind of eagle in their coat of arms. Of course, the eagle is the symbol of the beasts. That is why these countries that the beasts conquer, they use the eagle as their symbol. I mean, look at the Nigerian coat of arms, where we don't even know we don't see eagles in our skies every day, but we have it there in the coat of arms because we have been conquered and are being colonized by the beasts. And when I say the beast, I mean the British Empire. They are still the same people that are ruling the Americans. That's why they have all they have all this American eagle and all those nonsense. It's an unclean animal, but we are being deceived into worshiping them. Okay, the next one that we're being deceived, the next unclean animal that we are holding in high esteem today is the swan. The swan. I don't know, when I was growing up, the water that was going, they were selling then was swan water, and the swan was seen as one clean thing. I mean, the water, the advert they were running then was, oh, the water is so clean like a swan, it's white like a swan. So the imbibed on us like that the swan is a clean animal, and so the water we are drinking is as clean as swan. But the swan, according to the Bible, is an unclean animal, brothers and sisters. It is an unclean animal. Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 16. The swan is an unclean animal. But today, we're being hypnotized into seeing this unclean animal as something clean. The next one is the owl. Oh my God, this one is the one. The owl, brothers and sisters, is an unclean animal. But today you see it on almost every symbol. I showed a church here in Lagos, a redeemed church that was built in the shape of an owl. There are so many other buildings around the world that are built in the shape of an owl. Open any children's book, brothers and sisters. Every children's book I have seen has the owl there. Almost every children's cartoons and whatever you call it have the owl. People, I mean, it's not even easy to pronounce that, an owl. It's not even. There are so many other things you can pronounce that start with O, but the owl is what's being projected because they are trying to sell these animals to your children as something they should revere. But the Bible made it very clear to us in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 14 verse 16 that the owl is an unclean animal. It is an unclean animal. But today you find out that we are being indoctrinated into revering this animal, worshiping this animal. The same thing happens with the kite, the hawk, and all those. These are unclean animals, brothers and sisters. These are unclean animals. But today, in the world we live today, we are being indoctrinated into seeing these animals as something very great, as something great. These are animals that this devil, the evil one, is using to entice the children of God into holding them at great reverence. There are so many churches you go to today that you will see the statue of an eagle in that church. And these people go to these churches with Bible. They go to these churches with Bible. And in that Bible, it said that the eagle is an unclean animal. Yet, here they are worshiping, so-called worshiping God under the statue of an unclean animal. Think about this great deception. Okay. In the Catholic Church, when I was in the Catholic Church, they have the Legion of Mary, and one of the emblem of the Legion of Mary has an eagle on it. And we were being deceived into seeing these things as useful. Meanwhile, they are unclean animals that we've just been deceived. We have the animals like the pelican, the bat. These are all unclean animals. Okay, so now that you know, brothers and sisters, now that you remember, you have to keep the laws of the Most High. These animals that are unclean, you should not hold them in any kind of reverence. For instance, brothers and sisters, in Igbo land, we have these laws. Okay, we have these dietary restrictions. In Igbo land, we don't eat vultures. We don't eat things that die of themselves. We don't even eat snail. Okay, most of these things that now today, brothers and sisters, today we are eating these things. A lot of Igbos are eating it because we've been indoctrinated into Christianity, and in Christianity we are told that there's nothing unclean, everything is clean, which is a great deception. The Hebrews in the Bible would rather die than to eat pig or pork or anything. I even forgot to mention pork. I mean, one of the most widely eaten food in America, or not only America, most of the world today, is pork. It is an unclean animal, but our people over there and even here in Africa are being deceived into eating these things, thereby defiling themselves. Today in Nigeria, one of the most profitable business in agriculture is rearing pigs. In Igbo land today, so many businesses have opened up where they rear pigs. These are unclean, but our people are being, the evil ones are pricing this animal higher, way higher than normal goats and cows, which are even supposed to be goats is even supposed to be much better food, healthier food than the pork. But the pork is being priced higher than the goat. But pork is being priced very high so that people will be enticed into going into this thing. And these things are unclean to us. Another one, brothers, another unclean animal that we are being enticed to eat is the catfish. The catfish, oh my God, is a huge business now in Nigeria, in Igbo land. Everywhere people go to bars and eat point and kill, that's what they call it. And they eat this unclean animal, the catfish. Okay. And the catfish is actually priced way higher than every other fish, so that not every other fish, but most other fishes anyway, is priced way higher than them, so that it will entice people into rearing this. Another one is another animal that is being glorified like that is an unclean animal is what's it called? This fish that they call Titus fish. Okay, it's an unclean animal. There's another fish, a similar fish in Nigeria here, we call it kote fish, that is not unclean because it has scales. Okay, the Most High said any fish that does not have scale on his body, you should not eat it. Any fish that does not have scale on his body, you shouldn't eat it. Okay, it should be considered an abomination to us. We should not eat it. But the kote fish that has scales that is supposed to be clean, that we should eat, and the tilapia fish as well, these are priced way lower than the catfish and the Titus fish. And now scientists have also come up with the fact that if you look at this food that is called unclean food, you find that they have far more severe health implications than the clean ones. But I don't even want to go into the scientific nature of this one. The fact is that this is a law. The Most High gave us a law to keep. This food makes us unclean, brothers and sisters. I know, I understand. Some of this food is difficult to wean yourself off of it, but you have to. Okay, you have to make. I mean, there are chickens everywhere. You can eat as much chicken as you want. There are what's it called? Goods. You can eat as much as you can rear as much as you want and eat as much as you want. But the Most High made it very clear that for food, He has given us the things that grow, the plants that grow. These are the main food. And in the situation where you have to eat meat, you have to eat the clean ones. Otherwise, you become unclean. So, brothers and sisters, I want to put this out there. We find that there's a whole lot of deception on our people. Our people are being deceived into eating the animals that the Most High called unclean. We are being deceived into kind of worshipping them, holding this animal in high reverence. Animals such as the owl, the eagle, the lion, the tiger, all those ones, we hold them in high reverence. Meanwhile, they are unclean animals. It's important that when you realize this, do not perpetuate this kind of deception that has been systematically planned on you and your people. And children of God, I have to add here, the fact that these animals are unclean, are considered unclean by the Most High, does not mean that you should go about hating these animals. No, actually, I was having a discussion with someone, and I told the person that I won't eat catfish because it's unclean to me, and the person was like that. That the person was speaking in the direction of animal rights, that we are going to be hurting the animal. I was like, are you out of your mind? First of all, I'm not supposed to touch the carcass of this animal. Why would I even go and kill it? In fact, every Hebrew that is keeping the law of the Most High by not touching this animal, it is us that will even make this animal last longer, because the people that eat this animal are the ones that kill it and reduce their population. Meanwhile, those of us who keep these laws and not eat this animal, the animal will have time to procreate and also live in its own world like every animal should. So I want to put it out there. You don't have to go about hating this animal. No, the animal have their usefulness. Like I said, the horses, the donkeys, they are used for transportation, for agriculture, and they are useful. They do their job. However, the Most High said when it comes to food, that should not be food for us. Those animals were not created for us to use them as food. And it's also important. It's also important that you not go about hating people who eat them, saying them as unclean. This law was created for the house of Jacob. Like I said in Psalm 147 verse 19, it is for the Hebrews. Okay, and so anybody who does not identify as such and decides to go ahead and eat this, that's okay. The person does not have to keep the law because the person is not a Hebrew and does not want to be one. It's okay for the person to do that. It doesn't mean that you go about hating people that do that or detesting them or something. I have to put it out there because people will tend to gravitate towards doing that. No, let the animals alone. Let them be. Let them live on the planet like every other animal and die like every other animal. You just shouldn't touch them because it's an abomination unto you. May the Most High bless you.